Hey there, my spooklings. So I just want to tell you guys that if you have seen my most recent post about the Q&A thing, and I've also mentioned it in my live stream yesterday, how I will be making a video of a Q&A, of course. And so, of course, make sure you check out the post I made first, since that's telling you the rules. But I'm also making this video to emphasize on the rules and also just to explain it a little better in more depth, of course, since it's kind of hard to do that in a video. So, or not a video, I mean like a post. So yeah, anyways. So yeah, first rule, of course, is the fact of no inappropriate or personal information can be asked to me, or really any to my OCs. Because like I said in the post, which I recently edited, is you can also ask my OCs questions and stuff like that. You might be like, how's that going to work? Well, first you go to the post, you type in whatever question you want to ask, and then when you're typing in that questions, be specific who you're addressing it to. Now, here are the list of my OCs you can ask questions to. Of course, maybe a few of them you will know. For my more long-time watchers, of course. So, first one on the list is B, of course, my main Dandy's World OC, which is pretty much me if I was in Dandy's World, but not at the same time. You know, anyways, next, below that, we have Boom, which is Beat's older brother. A few of you might know him, remember him, or whatever. I don't really use him a lot. That's only because I'm still kind of working on character design and, well, not character design, but character plot. But you can ask him questions. You can also ask Spike and Spark. A lot of you might know them. And then a few that you guys might not remember or know is also my random OCs. First we have Onyx, then we have Bloop, and then we have Flay. And I might add a few others. I don't know. I don't think I will. I think I'll keep it like that. Pretty much, because those are the only ones I have that are like, oh yeah, kind of ones I've shown. So yeah. Of course, again, you can ask them anything. It would be hard to ask them personal information because you can't really ask them where they live. I mean, you could. They would just say some random location. I'm not going to spoil it for you, though, because, of course, well, that's your idea and your decision if you want to ask them or not. But yeah, so then also you can ask them like relationship stuff. That's fine. Except for the kids, of course, which the kids are Onyx, Bloop, and Spike and Spark, of course. You cannot ask those guys. Oh, also, two other OCs that you can ask, which you guys also might kind of remember them, might not. Again, I haven't really used them at all much, but we have Danielle and Nick, which those are two other ones in my Dandy World OCs. They are related. Well, Danielle is the aunt of Boom and Beat, and she is V's mother in my AU. And Nick is her husband, so he's like, you know, not blood related, of course, that would be kind of weird, to the family, but he is by marriage. So yeah, again, this is in my AU, so none of it will be canon, of course, unless, well, of course it's canon, I guess, in my AU and my OC wise, but yeah. Also, another thing, you can ask my Dandy's World OCs about other Dandy's World characters, whether that being each other, like asking them, like, how is one doing? Like, say you ask Beat, how's her brother doing? She'll answer. Same with, like, Danielle, Nick, Boom. You can also ask them, like, For example, say you ask Danielle how her child's doing, which would be V. She'll answer to that too. And you can also ask in pairs, meaning you can ask, like, say you ask Boom and B, say you ask them specifically both a question at the same time, which again, how you would do that comment wise, you would comment saying, Dear Boom and B, blah, 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 whatever your question is, and then they will both answer with their opinions and stuff like that. So yeah, stuff like that, of course. And then again, with the children OCs, you can't ask them anything like inappropriate, but you can ask like, I guess, the only two you could really ask about parent wise would be Spark and Spike, since they are like, they do have parents. You just can't talk to their parents because they're being worked on. We could say that. Anyways, but you can ask, like, Spike and Spark. You can either ask one, like, say you just want to talk to Spike, that's your question, just to Spike or just to Spark, or you can say it to both of them. Same with Flay, Onyx, and Bloop. They are a family. All of them are young, though. I mean, Flay adopted both Bloop and Onyx because he is the legal age to allow to do that, but he's still like younger. Because Onyx is the youngest. He's at least like maybe 8. And then Bloop, he's like 10, 11. So, of course, again, and like Flay's like 19 at least, if not 20. So still, stuff like that. But you can ask them as a trio too. You can also ask Boom, B, Danielle, and Nick all a question, like all 4 of them at the same time if you're asking them the same question. You can ask them about relationships. Like, you can really ask any character about relationships wise. That can go for family, lovers, whatever, except for, of course, the kids. So I guess the only ones you can really ask that about would be Boom, B, Danielle, Nick. I guess Flay, since he is older. Just, of course, again, for all of them in general, even if they are of age, nothing inappropriate. But yeah. So, like I said, comment wise, you would address whoever you want to talk to and then ask the question. And of course, you can ask me questions specifically. Again, just probably address more so I know for sure, like, hey, just say you, like, this is a question for you, blah, 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 whatever your question, So, yeah, of course, I'll be answering questions. My OCs will answer questions. Again, you can ask me and my OCs about other characters that are canon or other OCs, of course. Really, you can ask them anything again, like I said. So yeah. Of course, too, you can also ask B, just giving an example. If you ask B about like her son, which she'll probably, you'll need to be more specific because she treats Louis kind of like a son. But Gordy, she adopted Gordy. So Gordy is her like more actual legitimate son, besides the adoption part, of course. But so you can ask her about that and be like, oh, how's Gordy? And she'll answer and stuff like that. Same, you can also ask her about like Finn and Ginger. She'll answer both. You can ask her about her bestie, Glisten, and stuff like that. So, yeah. And then you can also ask Boom about his life and whatever. And you can also even ask him like what he thinks about Finn and Ginger, being the fact that they are with his sister and stuff. You can really ask anything. Though, I don't know if they will answer to this or if they'll even know. But if you ask my OCs about me, they might be a bit confused. The only ones I can see maybe knowing who I am are Spike and Spark. Maybe. Otherwise, if you ask like Boom, Beat, Danielle, and Nick, if you ask them like, oh, how's your creator doing? They might be like, you mean Danielle? And then they'll like be like, we don't follow her anymore. She sucks. We don't even listen to her. By the way, that's like my AU pretty much. That's not the only thing in my AU, of course. That's like, though, like the base of it, like they don't follow Danielle at all. Like pretty much they kicked her out. They like overruled her. Um, but yeah, anyways. So you can also ask like other questions. Like, again, you can also ask about Dial, I guess. Ugh. I'm gonna let you know now though. There might be swearing. Just a warning of that. Of course, nothing too like terrible, but you know, of course, as usual, just giving a heads up about that. But yeah, so that's pretty much all. Again, make sure to go check out the post. Of course, here's a picture of what the post looks like in general too, just in case if I end up making a different one, like another post or something that's just different, so you know what to look for and stuff. And then there will be the rules again there. And yeah, and then here's the list of the OCs you can ask again. And yeah. So bye, my spooklings. Hope you have a great day. And yay!